Yeah, you're welcome back, and this is the Spring Trend segment where we get to bring you trending stories and stories as we get to find them on our social media space, and we get to give you background stories as regards why they are trending and people's reactions and comments regarding the stories. My name is Olufemi Alagben. I've got right here still in the studio, Femi and Chokwe right here in the studios. Good morning. Thank you very much. All right, let's quickly go straight into stories that we have on our social media space. You know, last week, Friday was May Day, and it happens to be a kind of a division in the Labour, a side division of Labour, where we get to find a faction of the Labour Union supporting the APC candidates in the 2026 governorship election, and another faction of the Labour getting to support the Accord Party, who is the current governor of Osun State. Here, if you check there on Punch had to post it. As you see on your screen right now, Punch posting the faction of the Labour Union. As you can see, here you see a faction of the Labour Union in Osun State holds May Day rally demanding better worker welfare and endorsing the APC candidate for the 2026 poll. And as you can see in the pictures, they are all dressed in red to support Asiwaju Nuruddin Oyebanji there. And in another twist, we have a post on X coming from Duke of Osun, showing the faction of the Labour Union supporting Governor Ademola Adeleke, who is the current governor of Osun State of the Accord Party. And you can see them dressed all in yellow. And a lot of reactions have been coming in. You know, just as I said, this is not division of Labour, but actually a division in the Labour Union. A lot of reactions have been coming in, but quickly let me just hear what you have to say from this, Femi. You know, Osun State.
I think when you said the division of Labour, literally, Labour being divided. Yeah. But I don't really see division actually. For people that have followed the trajectory of what is happening in Osun, these might not be new. Actually, these might not be strange to them. Now compare this crowd. This is the Labour Union, all right, and the other parts. You know, the guys in red, they are the faction, if there's anything called factions.
Okay, are you saying that this is actually the real Labour Union?
Of course.
So the Labour those in red are factions.
The other red guy, if actually we can have them, the red guys, they are looking more like, if you know Julius Malema in South Africa. His people and the troubles they make. All
right, we have to go. Talk for just 1 minute. What do you have to say with this?
I just think that this is, I was about to say, this is funny, and it is the highest height of on seriousness and sensitivity to the plight of the, to their own plight, really. Right. Because if you are this divided along your lines, how do you fight for a better working condition?
This is just a joke.
All right,
daddies and sugar daddies.
Well, from your angle, some people are saying it's a joke. Well, Femi, you're saying that the people on red are actually the faction of that. However, let's check some comments here. We have on X here, Hughes Folabi saying, APC no get shame at all. What is this they post on here? Imole has turned them to Confucianists. And he said, Imole Ijaya Osun. Well, that's from his own angle. Then we have Elijah Oluwashayo also on X saying, Osun APC, no wonder the presidency didn't support them. Well, I think he's trying to refer to the president not supporting the APC faction there. And we have another comments here on X saying Osun APC really can't stop disgracing themselves. Well, a lot of comments and people are saying that just as I think people are aligning with your thought this morning, Femi, saying that people on red are actually coming from the angle. They are the actual factions, while the ones on yellow are the real Labour Union. But interesting times. Well, we get to see how it unfolds there, and maybe they will come and give a better report and to clear their side, saying that they are not real functions and they are the actual ones there, because I would take it as a Femi 2026 quote saying the people on red are actually a faction of the Labour Union. However, still talking about politics this morning, however, going to Oyo State, we have the former Minister of Power who was actually resigned in person of Bayo Adelabu are coming to throw some jabs at the Olubadan of Ibadan land. You know, he's contesting. He resigned because he has an intention to contest for the 2027 governorship race in Oyo State. We'll bring you the video and we'll return.
Not in the 2003 and 2019. 2003. Palawandie. Ati. Ebi o dako yo. Ebi o dako. 2019. APC. 2019. Tí mo jáde àbí tẹ́ ṣe gbé mi lọ́wọ́ dáadáa rẹ̀ tẹ́ fi ọ̀dà pọ̀ mí nígbà tá a ṣe federal election sẹ́nẹ́tọ̀ mélòó la ní méjì nínú mẹ́ta àbí ọ̀gá wa nìkan lè wọlé gbà yẹn Ajímọ̀bí house of rep mélòó la ní mẹ́wàá nínú.
All right, and that's that. As you can see, Adelabu talking about the issue with Olubadan there, saying that for a long while, he has not been supporting the progressive, and a lot of people have been reacting there. On X, we have Nick Dad saying, if the man is not called to order, he will use his unholy ambition to destroy things for the party. Again, he has been a problem to the party over the years. I doubt if the days ahead would be interesting if he is not called out. And still there, Road Demi Femi also on X has this to say with the reaction of Adelabu, saying Adelabu is saying the truth. 2023, 2019, and even 2003 rather, 2019 and even 2023, Obaladoja supported Atiku. 2011 and 2015, he made all efforts to stop Governor Ajimobi of blessed memory. He complained about APC's victory in Oyo State in 2023, saying Tinubu can't win Osun, his own state. And a lot of reactions have been coming in. Also, we have a comment from Tunde there. Tunde saying, as much as I love Adelabu, this is a big mistake he's Ibadan man. He is an Ibadan man, rather. So I would have known what to say. Adelabu can't deliver your state. Can't he read the handwriting on the wall? It's so glaring, rather. He should arrest if it's another person from another town. And that's that from that angle, talking about being an Ibadan man. You don't have to attack your monarch and all that. However, somebody actually tweeted as well and said that he doesn't support the political idea of Olubadan. But if it's talking about being a monarch, that he respects his king. I would like to hear a reaction to that topic very quickly as regards Adelabu being an Ibadan man and coming to say what he has to say, looking at the Ladoja being a monarch and Ladoja being a politician. Your reaction? All right, whatever it is, for what it's worth, I don't see any attack really on the person, on the stool of the Olubadan. So whatever it is, it's politicking. And the Oba himself was let me say, still a politician through and through. So whatever, that's for Ibadan politics, and that's politicking. Femi, your take.
Well, I think I've seen a longer clip, you know, of this particular meeting. Okay. It was nasty, actually. So it was not just shades, it was insultive to Olubadan. So it's like you instigating something, and then the crowd will chant the Olubadan's name. The guy will say, oh, I'm not the one saying no to, you are the one saying it. It was nasty, actually. And I'm not sure he should be doing that, especially. There is one day you will still go to the Olubadan's palace, and it won't be funny. There are traditionalists in Ibadan that they don't care about your politics. Don't throw shade at that throne. It might have consequences. And I think it should be reining in. It should be getting support, actually, not to be having divisions along the line, especially that has to do with the ancient city of Ibadan.
Interesting one.
Being an homeboy himself.
Exactly. Which has been the reactions of some persons saying, you being an Ibadan man, you have to be very careful on the words you throw at the monarch. They're still talking politics, however, on an interesting one here. You know, some months ago, ADC has been described as the new bride, but it seems as if the new bride has become, as Yoruba we say, the Yale now. Ariawo is called Yale thing, as we see two heavyweights leaving the ADC for the the Nigeria Democratic Congress. That's the NDC there. We have Peter Obi and Kwankwaso moving away. We'll bring you the video when we return. We'll just to look at the comments.
And I don't want to violate electoral rules, but we have seen very handsome, very qualified suitors, very suitable suitors. Okay. Yes. And we can pronounce you already. In-laws. In-laws. The formalities will await.
And that's it, you can see Seraki Dixon, Senator Seraki Dixon, former governor in Bayelsa State, talking about the arrival of Peter Obi and Kwankwaso there. ADC is no longer the new bride to them. The Nigerian Democratic Congress is the new bride for them now. And a lot of Nigerians have been looking at, I hope this will not be a repeat of 2023. You know, in the paper review, I heard you guys talking about that, saying, especially talk by saying that this is what happened in 2023, where opposition forces could not come together to have one voice, and a lot of issues are happening. And now, within a short while, Obi is out from Labour to ADC, ADC now to the new party alongside Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso just left his party not quite long to join the ADC, and there are lots of, you know, just as they said, with whatever they said, the reason is for them to leave, and now they are out. And a lot of Nigerians have been commenting. We have this comment on X from Mr. Easy saying, Peter Obi is the good shepherd. He knows his sheep, and his sheep knows him. Anywhere he goes, we go. And if he decides to leave NDC, meaning even if he decides to leave NDC tomorrow, I think some Nigerians will say this is actually the real obedient citizen here, a real obedient movement guy here. And also we have comments here from Chuko Jioke proudly on X as well, saying, just forget 2027 election. Tinubu is gonna win it as he did 2023. Without a coalition, no one is stopping Tinubu, except there's something we didn't know about. And these are the reactions as we have. They also have a comment from Okoyemi Akiniyi saying, now that the ADC has split, those who move to the NDC will likely start. And as you have it there with that angle there. All right, let's quickly come to the comments there, talking about the issue with Obi and Kwankwaso moving. Tokwa, should I start with you there? What do you have to say? Okay, let me start with Femi. Femi, let me use Yoruba adage here. Yawo ti di yale bai. And well, since they've seen the Yawo, they've called Yale. What do you have to say to that?
Well, there is a reason. Since we are using the family and marriage say, there is a reason why stuff happen in marriage and people trying to walk around it, and if not working, you know, for they find their peace elsewhere, especially the ambition. All right, so in this case, ADC is now an ex of these guys, and there will still be more new entrants. NDC is now the new bride. Okay, and so it's all the best to them, but I'm sure it's not helping the opposition movement. They are gathering in Nigeria, because if their aim is to wrest power from the ruling APC, they need to show cohesion. Actually, they need to show ambition, and they need to show sacrifice. 3, 4 of you cannot be placing your ambition in front, and you don't care who leaves or who comes. That would be a joke. If not,
all right, moving on, let's quickly go, because of our time. Let's go into the entertainment scene and talking about Nollywood this time around. And it's a Babai Better thing, let me put it that way, as Lateef or Ladimeji and his wife welcome triplets, and a lot of congratulatory messages. Adedimeji, rather, I mean to say, welcome set of triplets there, and a lot of congratulatory messages have been coming in. They posted it on their social media handle on Instagram. Let's get to watch the video. We'll return. We get to look at the comments. that's it. I can see you guys dancing and following that. You know, he dropped a post there and said, I've been quiet, not absent. I was building, protecting, and embracing the greatest blessing of my life. God gave me more than I prayed for. A woman who became a mother of 3 and 3 kings to call my own, my world, my responsibility, my legacy, alhamdulillah. And that's what we have there. And a lot of congratulatory messages have been coming in, lots and lots of that coming in. You know, we have Dr. Mary saying, God overdo things. I remember seeing main post about this couple on Facebook regarding childbirth. When God decides to answer, he said, it's 6 years of marriage. I'll make it 3. Yes, 3 for your pain, tears, and cries. It won't be double. It will be triple, and the 3 will stay. Congratulations. Lots and lots of comments. Well, Tokwe, your take on this and regarding the angle of
I would say that if we on this side, and I mean we on this side, them on the other side, if we on this side have been choking mouth and eyes into their marriage and saying awful things, and I feel that this win should be everybody's win as well. So congratulations to their Dedimejis, and truly, like the person said, it's triple for their pain, for the tears, and for all of the apropos that people have done. Congratulations to them indeed.
Femi, your congratulations.
Well, I like to disagree from where Tokwe said. I know what you mean by saying we. No, I don't follow. They. It's they. The people that are, you know. But I think I saw it last week, and I don't know them personally, but I've seen hateful comments towards that family because you know they are celebrities, they are filmmakers, and all of those things. You know, it's a big win for them, and especially in the
celebrity space.
Like 3 of those news came last year, but this one 3, and you know, congratulations to them, and I hope this will be somebody's story soon, very soon. Somebody watching that they're in this space and they need this kind of miracle. But quickly, let me add. People are nasty, and people should just focus on what matters to them. I saw a very unfortunate, better to be forgotten comments on one of these stories when somebody said, "Oh, leave God alone in all of these. It was through these means and these means," and you wonder what's your problem in all of these. But you know, just scratch that. Shout out. And I saw on Latin's page 149,000 comments last week. I said, this is Nigeria's win. Shout out to them.
Definitely. And congratulations to them from all of us here at Western Spring Television. All right, we still have congratulatory messages. You know, Dotsun, the Nigerian, also an ex saying, massive congratulations, Chief, and hope they grow to be kids that bring happiness to the family. Once again, we congratulate them. Really, it's something to rejoice with, and definitely, just as Femi has said and talk about, it's our win, it's Nigeria's win. However, on a very, let me say, a funny moment, there is this fight between Portable and Kataife that has been building up over the time. And, you know, a lot of Nigerians have been anticipating that fight. And it's the entrance, the fight, everything seems to be something that was unexpected. It was, I'll use the word theatrical. However, let's get to look at the intro first before we continue.
As well, the fact that Carter Efe is making a debut makes him an unknown quantity. But Zazu Master himself, Portable, always very sure of himself. And guess what? He always prides himself as a traditional person. He's come to the ring with Masquerade from the southwestern part of the country. And you can see him, he's a fan favorite, they love him. Controversial, but he's well loved by his fans.
He has certainly courted controversy throughout a very colourful online career. Here, Carter Efe makes the walk for the first time to a boxing ring. Portable sprang off of his stool as soon as he caught a glimpse of him. He is not messing around, he means business. And that is quite an entrance, not quite Prince Naseem Hamed. He'll be hoping that is the only fall tonight.
I mean, see that the entrance of a masquerade on the side of Portable there, and you can see the jumping of Kata Ife there. To me, it seems as if he felt that he just used style to do, you know, you don't have to show it in all sense of, you know, the entry is something for me. Coming, I understand if you come in a costume, but coming with a masquerade regalia, well, it's a whole lot. However, well, people will say it's the identity of the gods. However, let's get to see what the gods end up doing with the entrance of a man who also has to jump into the ring. Let's get to watch the fight as well. Then we'll come back to check the comments.
But you see using that left hand, you know, to create some sort of opportunity. Very unorthodox fighting style for both of them. I mean, it's pretty much like if he's swinging up his uppercuts.
Be interesting to look at the combo.
Some sort of opportunity. Very unorthodox fighting style for both of them.
I don't know whether not to do. I did throw it. No, you throw it. I throw it my watch. They're coming now. What is one? They're coming at this one. Oh my hand, they come up blood. What do you mean? I find come you. I don't know.
Well, that's it. The appearance of a masquerade man ended up being beaten in the rings. I never knew maybe the gods forsook him there. I don't know. However, Kata Ife's side, well, congratulations to him from that end there. You know, a person appearing, you're supposed to fear when you want to fight the gods. But regardless, he came all bold to, you know, do what he needed to do. And he won in the end. Femi, you watched the highlights and you saw how everything happened. Your reaction to that, and what were you expecting when the fight was to start? The appearance of Portable in the masquerade regalia and all that. Yeah. Who do you actually think should win the match?
Well, I think for me, I didn't see the fight live. I only saw the highlights. And you know, for Portable and his troubles, actually, many persons were happy that, okay, this guy will keep quiet for some time. Because if Portable had won, between that time and today, we'll have released 2 tracks.
And do you think that would keep him quiet?
Actually,
he
but
can
then,
sing to
I think it was just a fun, the social media space. I think Nigerians needed that relief from the chaos and everything going on. It was just a novelty, you know, and that was the first that Portable was involved in. He had a fight with, what's this guy? Speed Darlington as well, and he won. But on this one, it's not the gods that disappointed him. He disappointed the gods. He brought 2 Egungun, and the Egunguns were not careful.
Maybe they didn't stay with him, actually. Let's talk about your reaction to this, you know, regarding what
Portable did prayers only. There was no work behind it. It was just all about the fasting and the prayers.
Okay, he was fasting.
With the gods.
Okay.
He didn't come there prepared.
Oh, I see. Well, a lot of Nigerians have been reacting regarding that. We have Jerry's Hub saying, that's an ex. Kata Ife just turned Portable into a human TikTok. 1 round and he was done. Bro came for war, left with a nab and a participation medal. Fastest boxing since my uncle fought the power in 2015. Kata Ife, na proper soldier. Well, a lot of reactions, you know, as I said, some Nigerians didn't believe that Kata Ife will actually have won there. And we have this comment also from excellent Coyote saying, all that just to end this way, meaning that maybe looking at the angle of Femi saying that with this, maybe Portable we have to be silent for a while.
You could see the way his head was being held here. Actually, you know, when the scripture said, and the enemy submitted, this is what happened. The guy had to tap out. He didn't continue. It wasn't a knockout. He said it was true. He wasn't going to continue. And, you know, that was it. It was subdued, actually. But it's all fun, actually. Nothing serious, if you ask me.
Well, it's really a lot. I also have a comment here from King David the Great saying, you can't play boxing. See, in that ring, no juju can fight for you. He was laughing. See all that noise And after round, one Portable was gassed. Lol. He thinks is the straight fight, meaning ring fight is different from straight fight. So, do you think that is true? That if it were to be on a normal street, maybe we'll have beaten Kataife?
I don't think
so. Maybe you will not be
Femi,
fasting then, and maybe we'll have won.
Like Femi
all right,
said,
this is where we're wrapping it up on the segment of Spring Trends. You can catch up with us on our various social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok on Western Spring Television. My name is Olufemi Alabi. We'll go on this break. When we return, to be back to Femi and Talk. Stay with us.